Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me once again. So, in reference to my last video, when I was talking about blackface and the KKK, as far as this governor and him talking about infanticide and all of this other stuff just being a distraction to the main point about talking about post-birth abortions being illegal. Well, it turns out that YouTube is throttling my video count, and I do have proof of this. I have two screenshots. One screenshot is from my analytics inside of YouTube Studios, and it clearly shows that I have 425 views for this video. However, when you compare it to my live video count on my YouTube that you access from either the app on your phone or the internet, you can see that I have shortly under 400. So, it's very clear that YouTube is throttling my video count. I just want to bring this to your attention and make you realize that channels, even as small as mine, are getting censored on a regular basis. Now, I'd like to talk to you guys about the State of the Union speech and how it sealed Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer into a gas chamber, and they don't realize that they're inhaling the poison as we speak. Donald Trump did something in that State of the Union address that very few people have ever done. He managed to bring that congressional hall together on more than one occasion on the plane that I have never seen before. Okay, so we're going to talk about the entire speech and break a few things down point by point. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that Donald Trump was the most presidential he has ever been during that speech. What people like about Donald Trump is that he represents the everyday American when it comes to how he speaks and how he views society. Granted, you and I will never have the amount of money that he does, but that is not the commonality that people like me share with Donald Trump. We share in our core beliefs when it comes to what this country should represent. This country should give everybody the opportunity to become somebody like Donald Trump. Maybe not to the extent of being a billionaire, because yes, that is an exceptional outcome. However, exceptional outcomes are not anomalies. They are statistically able and will happen in every single instance. There will always be a Donald Trump inside of a capitalist system. It's statistically accountable for. Anybody could be that person. Now, what he did during this speech just astounded me from square one. Yes, he talked about his accomplishments. Yes, he managed to make a few jabs at Nancy Pelosi. But at the same time, he managed to bring together the entire House and Senate together to sing Happy Birthday for a Man during the State of the Union. He managed to get the entire Democratic Congressional Caucus to stand up and start applauding all of the women who are first-time appointees inside of the legislative branch. He managed to get the entire body of Congress to start chanting USA in unison. He managed to get everybody to stand up and agree that prison reform was one of the biggest accomplishments ever when it comes to progress for our society. Donald Trump is not a progressive, but he just did the most progressive thing that's been done in the last 20 years. And the Democrats recognized this. He managed to bring our country together for the first time in 4 years. Okay? Just think about that. For the first time in 4 years, Donald Trump got 76% of the population to agree with the tenets of his speech. Do you guys understand what that means? That means that we have turned the corner when it comes to society realizing he is not as bad as everybody makes him out to be. Now, Nancy Pelosi sitting there behind Donald Trump chewing on her gums the entire time absolutely made me go crazy. That woman is so damn arrogant, it's not even funny. There was an interesting event that took place during the State of the Union that I found very interesting. There was a Democratic woman, and she's blonde. I can't remember her name. But she stands up and starts applauding Donald Trump. And the woman beside her, dressed in white, stands up, and you can lip read, and she says, "You better watch your ass." So you have to ask yourself, will the Democratic Party continue to eat themselves alive until they're like Pizza the Hut and they end up gorging themselves on themselves? And the answer to this question is yes. Inevitably, the Democratic Party is done. And there is no coming back from this, regardless of how hard they try. They are trapped. Nancy Pelosi has no way out. Absolutely no way out. If Donald Trump doesn't get his wall funding through her, he's going to shut the government down and do it his goddamn self. Now, Donald Trump also got the entire country to agree that infrastructure needs to become the next big initiative in the United States. We have such a problem when it comes to our infrastructure. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. So we have no choice but to start rebuilding our bridges and putting new pipes in the ground, or you're going to be drinking contaminated water and you're not going to be able to drive to work. How can anybody not agree on this? Yet for years and years and years, we haven't been able to get anything done as far as infrastructure bills. Donald Trump comes along and he says not only are we going to do infrastructure, he's tackled a bunch of other things that nobody in their right mind would argue against. During this speech, he addressed the fact that he had the VA sign a new policy where people can get fired if they're proven to be negligent, which should have been the case from day one. But how the hell do you get to keep your job if you're abusing our veterans? Now, the entire system is abusive to our veterans, but things that should have been done years and years and years ago had to wait until a man that nobody liked came along to get done. I think the country is starting to realize Donald Trump is a man of change and a man of progression, whether or not he's progressive or not. The thing about the United States is any politician that says they're a Democrat or a Republican is full of shit. Everybody is a populist. You cannot win without being a populist, at least in terms of your district and where you are running. You have to do the will of the people. That's the only way to get elected. Either that or you lie to the people and make them think you're going to do their will. Okay? Donald Trump is a quintessential progressive, whether you like it or not. And I'm not talking about the hijacked term of progressivism that we see today when it comes to abortion, etc., etc. That's not what being progressive is. Being progressive is advancing society in a manner in which everybody prospers. And that's exactly what's going on as we speak. As we speak. You can't argue with the policies that are being put into place right before your eyes, at least not all of them. Now, as far as the MCA, when it comes to the new Mexican-Canada trade agreement with the United States, there's a lot of aspects of that I don't like. It puts us back into TPP, and it might not put us into the actual agreement. However, there's a lot of overlap when it comes to that trade agreement and what would have been put into place with a lot of the policies that Trump said he was going to get us away from. So there's still some stuff to worry about, but at the same time, people are starting to realize everything around them is an illusion. And if Donald Trump can keep bringing enough light to the darkness, we have something to be thankful for. When the President of the United States gets in front of the entire country and tells the CIA and Deep State the United States will never be a socialist country, we have to start realizing he has our best interests in mind. When he gets up and says America will always be free, we were born free and we will remain free. Yeah, it's time to start taking this man seriously as far as what he wants to do in the betterment of society for the people. That is a death sentence, my friends. Any other president that would have got up and called the Deep State out like that would be dead right now. You have to wonder what's going on behind the scenes as far as Mueller right now, because Roger Stone is playing a very dangerous game when it comes to his existence and his prosecution. However, I think what he's doing may be brilliant, because when Roger Stone goes into a courtroom, he's going to be allowed to pull discovery, which means he's going to be able to bring up anything he wants pertaining to these investigations in the courtroom, as long as it pertains to his defense. And I'm interested to see what kind of information Roger Stone has hiding behind the scenes that he hasn't told us about. Because I'm telling you right now, there is something more to this than we are being told, okay? When it comes to Roger Stone and the Mueller investigation, Roger Stone inserted himself into this investigation on purpose. If you look at Roger Stone's tactics and why they call him the dirty trickster, you have to admire him to a very, very high level, in my opinion. He's a smart man, and he never does anything illegal. He operates inside of the rules of the game, and he bends them to his will. So what he does is he inserts himself into organizations and situations where he can manipulate the outcome from the inside. And he did this back in the day when there was third-party candidates trying to siphon away votes from Republicans in order to make Democrats win. So what would happen is there would be a conservative that was well-liked, that would draw away enough of the vote where they would run independent, and it would draw enough of the vote away from the Republican candidate where the Republican wouldn't win. So what Roger Stone did is he became the campaign manager, the head advisor for this guy who was doing all of this stuff, and he more or less drove the organization into the ground so it would never happen to the Republicans ever again. He did the same thing with the Democratic Party when he switched over to the Democrats and acted like he was changing sides and nosedived another organization into the ground from the inside out. So, did Roger Stone end up creating just enough evidence to make himself look guilty to get dragged in by Mueller in order to plant the bomb at the front door? Yeah, I think that may be what's happening. But you also have to realize Roger Stone is a longtime confidant of Donald Trump. Donald Trump met with Mueller a week before they appointed the FBI director. So you know damn well it wasn't because Mueller was going in there for director of the FBI. What if all of this has been planned from day one? It's just all a big game. Roger Stone, Mueller, and Trump all know what's going on. Mueller was told to frickin' draw all of this out and then investigate frickin' Roger Stone right towards the end of this investigation before he wraps everything up. And by Roger Stone getting brought in for discovery, he's going to be able to bring in a bunch of the Podesta and Hillary Clinton emails, because that's what he's under investigation for. And that may very well blow the lid wide open into the investigation for Hillary Clinton, therefore sealing up everything that Mueller met with Trump with on day one. Roger Stone being the master manipulator, I could see him putting something together like this. So, just please, open up your mind and realize that State of the Union just changed the game. 76% of America approves of Donald Trump's State of the Union speech that is unprecedented and unheard of, especially in the politically climactic situation that we are in right now. So, once again, thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for viewing my videos, and I will talk to you guys again shortly. Take care, and have a wonderful day.